So 5 minutes to go in free practice 2. Toprak Razgatlioglu here is on a hot lap. He negotiates the final turn and drives for the line. 3/10 he was up after 3 completed sectors. It's a 1 minute 31.506 and it's a new lap record on a race tyre in free practice 2.
Yeah, the lap record, the outright lap record was set with a qualifying tyre in last year's Super Pole session by Jonathan Ray. So Toprak is really doing well now to be able to get down to these kind of speeds straight away. There's been a lot of resurfacing around this track. Pretty much half the track has been resurfaced, which changes the grip characteristics. It's clearly been a lot faster. Teams and riders have come here knowing exactly what to expect, but you still got to be able to go in there and do the job. Toprak's doing that right now.
Absolutely astonishing from Razgatlioglu. He's reigning champion for a reason, of course. 1 minute 31.506 is your new lap record, all outright lap record, I should say, here at the Autodrom Most, as we see the typical style of Razgatlioglu under braking as well.
Do you know what the worst thing with Toprak is? You can't say if that was on his fast lap or a previous lap. He rides like that everywhere he goes, and that was one of the things that, speaking to a lot of the spectators around the track at Donington last time around, for a lot of them it was their first time seeing Toprak ride like this, because you had smaller crowds during COVID, you had different restrictions, but for all of them they said, I'm seeing something I've never seen before, and that's what Toprak brings to the table. It's such a unique style.
Yes, it is. Toprak Razgatlioglu, then the fastest man out there today, and what a psychological advantage that is as well, with Toprak setting the fastest time of the day, of course, a new lap record, and Jonathan Ray at the moment down in 6th position in this free practice 2, hoping to improve on his latest lap around. His fastest time of the day, still the one he set in FP1 this morning, a 1 minute 31.893. He makes his way now out of the final turn. He's one of only 3 riders in the top 10 positions in this FP2 session who hasn't improved on what he did earlier on. He still hasn't improved, but he does for this session at least move up to 4th place with a 1 minute 32 flat. Scott Redding finding further ground, 1 minute 31.733, and that in itself isn't far away from what was the lap record before Toprak's recent flurry. Yeah,
it's only about a half a tenth of a second off it, so that's got to be encouraging for BMW. And more than just it being one lap from Scott Redding, it's been a series of laps. Loris Baz up there still 4th fastest as well, so all of those things are going to give BMW a lot of encouragement.
Andrea Locatelli here hoping to move up and improve on his time from earlier on today. He mentioned that there were 3 riders in the top 10 who hadn't improved compared to FP1. One of them, Jonathan Ray, as I already said. Another 2, Garrett Gerloff and Andrea Locatelli. They're 9th and 10th at the moment in this FP2. Locatelli hoping to move above his Yamaha stablemate, and he does so. It's a new personal best, in fact, from Andrea Locatelli, 132.269. Does mean that there's not very much to choose between the riders from 4th positions all the way down to 8th, as Locatelli goes P7. Garrett Gerloff sets a new personal best for this session on that last lap. 1 minute 32.6 though for him, so Locatelli leapfrogging him there.
Yeah, and just behind them as well, or between them, you got the Hondas, Javi Vierge and Iker Lecuona, who we saw have that crash at the start of this session. Lecuona's time overall only a tenth of a second, 2/10 of a second slower than his teammate Javi Vierge. So Vierge has made a big step forward, but it would have been really interesting to see what kind of pace Lecuona would have been able to do in this session as well. So hopefully Lecuona is okay after that crash, and we'll be able to see his full potential tomorrow.
Another rider who might be making a little bit of progress later on in this session, Kota Nazane, is up on his previous best at the halfway mark on his latest lap with just over a minute to go. We pick up now the number 3. Razgatlioglu, certainly the fastest man on track, and fastest Yamaha as well, but the Yamaha's finding a little bit of extra pace in the latter stages of this session, as Andrea Locatelli's moved P7, Garrett Gerloff set a new personal best, and Kota Nazane might be able to make a little bit of progress. It was looking good at the halfway mark. He's lost half a second though in that 3rd sector, so whether he will improve. He currently sits in 16th position, just 40 odd seconds away from the checkered flag falling here. Nazane does make up 1 place, but that's against Iker Lecuona, of course, crashed out of this session earlier on. He's within 2 seconds of Toprak, but that's for single lap pace. 30 seconds remaining on the clock as we collect Alvaro Bautista flying to the line with a new personal best at a 1 minute 31.871. That's 3.5 tenths of a second down on Toprak's fastest time.
Yeah, what's really important for Bautista is that we found about 2/10 of a second in that final sector compared to his previous times. that's the area he's needed to focus on.
Eric Gerloff with another new personal best, so at least some consistency around those times. Toprak's running a couple of tenths of a second off in the final sector, and lost a couple of tenths in sector 2 as well. Doesn't look like he's going to improve, but how could you when the time was that fast in the first place? 1 minute 31.506. That's going to have stunned his rivals here today. We knew that the pace was going to be hotter this weekend because of the resurfacing work, predominantly the back end of the third sector, the fourth sector and the first, but just quite how fast with the harder rubber has astonished us all. Razgat Lioglu with that 1 minute 31.506, and we know that the outright lap record is likely to go tomorrow morning in the Tissot Superpole session, and the race lap record likely to go, of course, on Sunday morning in the Tissot Superpole race. Both of those sessions will have the SCX tyre, the softer tyre, available to the riders. Checkered flag falls then in free practice 2. Toprak Razgat Lioglu with 1 minute 31.506, his fastest. Hasn't yet seen the checkered flag, but he's not going to improve on his latest lap. Redding and Rinaldi have seen checkered. They're second and third. Bautista continuing on, but he's a couple of seconds down on his latest lap. He will reach the flag shortly. Locatelli across the line there for a 1 minute 32.102. He sits 7th fastest with that time, behind the likes of Alvaro Bautista, Loris Baz and Jonathan Ray. So great session as far as BMW are concerned. Not quite such a great session for Yamaha as FP1, but they've already proven their pace. And Toprak Razgat Lioglu has proven that he's going to be the man to beat as far as that Superpole session is concerned. 1 minute 31.506 is your new lap record.